Okay, I'll start off this haul with a couple of new parts here from Full Speed RC. They sent me the TX200, the 25 and 200 milliwatt video transmitter add-on for the MicroSwift, and you can see it's a little add-on board that goes to the back of the camera, and it comes with a whip antenna and a micro FL connector. So I'll do a little video on that pretty soon. And then they also sent me a new base plate and set of motors for the BAT100. I believe the hole mounting pattern is a little bit different with these motors, so that's why it requires a new base plate. And these are the Sunny Sky motors, I believe. They don't have any markings on them, but I believe they're 0705 15,000 kV motors from Sunny Sky, and these have the bearings and not the bushings, so it should run smoother. And you can see this has a C-clip on the bottom. So going to actually take the parts from the original BAT100 and basically swap over the flight controller, ESCs, and camera in the top plate onto this frame, and then we'll go and take this for a fly. And a video will be coming out pretty soon. Okay, so we got a couple of Ghul RC frames here from lighttake.com, and decided to try out some of their 6-inch frames. These are actually bigger than the normal frames I've been trying out. This one's looks like a single plate here, and you've got looks like a TPU pod, and yeah, it's TPU. It's flexible. I've been interested in getting some more of these Ghul RC frames ever since I built the Hummingbird. I really liked that frame a lot, and I hadn't really noticed that their frames are actually pretty high quality. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be building this one, but I'll do a review on this one in a little bit. And I got another Ghul RC frame here. I think this is another 6-inch frame. This is I think kind of similar to like a Martian frame, but this is also 6 inches. And this comes with a bunch of stuff here. So this one's called the VX6, and you can see it's Martian style. It's got 8 standoffs, 4 on each side, and I believe it's a sandwich construction with the arms sandwiched between the bottom plate and this. Looks like there's like some sort of metal support structure here. Let's see, we got a LED, I think it goes in the back. Got your side plates for the camera. And this is the metal aluminum piece that's holding the arms together. A couple of nice battery straps. And you got some foam feet here, looks like it goes under the arms. And not sure what these pieces are for, probably for the camera. And you got some nice hardware here, some steel anodized standoffs. Looks like they include some silicone here for the battery pad. Got some zip ties, a bunch of M3 screws, and these are all the carbon pieces. You can see these are definitely longer arms. So I'm probably going to be building this one out as a test rig. I haven't flown my ZMR 250 in a long time. I'm going to probably transfer the parts over into this and maybe do some testing with it, maybe for like long range FPV for example. Okay, we got another micro here from Gearbest RC. I think this is the QAV105. So again, pretty minimalistic. I don't think this comes with a battery. You get the 2-inch Gem Fan 2035 props. I like these a lot. So there's the drone itself here. You got a MicroSwift, some nice blue standoffs. It's all micro QAV. And I think, yeah, they're well, not sure if any of my batteries are going to fit on top for top mounting, so I'm probably going to just have it bottom mounted, and I'm probably going to switch out this JST for an XD30. And I think this is the same power stack that's on the F100. It's like rectangular. You get a 4-in-1 10 amp ESC and an Omnibus F3 flight controller, and the video transmitter is actually in the flight controller. And then we have a Fly Sky receiver there. I think this is the RX2A Pro. So yeah, it's very clean build, lots of space there, and I'll probably just have the battery mounted on the bottom. And we've got here some Aurora RC 1105 7000 kV motors. So These are some new motors. I haven't seen these before, but they seem okay, pretty smooth. Not sure how much angle we can get on the Micro Swift, but it looks like the angle's adjustable here. I'll have to look at that later. I think this is the one with the 2.1mm lens, yeah, the wide angle lens. So I'll have a review video on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, got another micro here from FPV Model. This is the follow-up to the KX90, and it comes in this nice plastic tub. So we got some prop guards here, and these look similar to the ones that came on the iFlight one. Probably not going to be using these. Got a couple of Velcro straps. Looks like they give you a bunch of these gem fan props. I think they come in 4 sets. Yeah, so get 4 sets of these props, so plenty of spare props if you need them. Oh, they got it includes the OSD joystick for your camera settings for the Micro Swift. That's great. And also they include the camera mounts. They include all the extra hardware that they would normally get from the retail Micro Swift. But here is the drone itself, and obviously totally different design here. They got the sort of pod up on top and the camera on top as well, along with the video transmitter. You got looks like a little dipole antenna sticking out the bottom like this, and you got an XD30, which I like, and very nice thick gauged wire. Looks like it's can't tell. I think it's 16 gauge wire, and interesting parts here. I'll go over the parts in the review, but this comes with some pretty high quality flight controller and 4-in-1 ESCs, and they are using the Dragon motors here. I think these are the same ones. The Dragonfly motors. These are the same ones from the KX90. I think these are 1105 7500 kV motors. They're very good motors. I like these a lot. Yeah, so yeah, I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon. Yeah, I like the way it looks. Okay, so we got another micro here from RC Moment. This is the Ghul RC G80 Pro. So typical stuff here you get in the box. You get a spare set of props, one set that's already on there. You get a USB charger for 2S LiPos, it looks like. And it looks like the LiPo is already installed. This looks like a 400 milliamp hour. It looks like, let's see here, we got a 450 milliamp hour LiPo 2S, and comes with a JST connector. So it looks like this micro has some prop guards, and maybe intended for some indoor flights. Pretty small motors that are Ghul RC branded 1102 10,000 kV motors. So lighter motors. This is probably an overall lighter setup. Yeah, 2-inch props it looks like, or maybe these are the 1935 5-bladed props. Don't particularly like these props, but this seems like a lot of these micros are still coming with these. And we got an all-in-one camera there, the VM2751, and we got a whip antenna, and that's something that we've seen a lot of in a lot of these micros. And then we've got it looks like a fly color power cube. So you got it's probably an SV Racing F3 board with probably a 12 amp 4-in-1 ESC, and that's probably what's going on there. That's the purple board. That's the same one that comes on the KX90. And then we got 2 LEDs and a buzzer in the back. So yeah, it's got this kind of unique roll bar cage design here on the top. That's kind of different and interesting. So yeah, I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned. Okay, so this is the Freebie X140. This is a little bit bigger micro for 3-inch props, has bigger motors. So this is everything you get in the box. You get 2 sets of these 4-bladed props here, 3-inch. I think these are clones of the HQ 3030s. Get some Velcro and zip ties. And you get a little bit of documentation on the flight controller and pinouts, and also the video transmitter. This is what the drone looks like, and comes with an XD60 connector. And we have, looks like a stretched X frame here. It's supposed to be 140 millimeters motor to motor. And we got some 1306 3100 kV motors. I think these are some generic motors. Got a micro CCD camera in here, and as you can tell, it looks kind of like a micro swift, but it's actually not a micro swift. It's just a generic CCD camera. It looks very similar orange color and casing. I'll have to see what the quality of this is like, but you have a nice mounting here with these two side plates. So this is the FlySky version, and they actually have the receiver already wired in here. This is an RX2A Pro micro receiver. And then they've got some sticky foam on the back, and so they kind of leave this out here so you can bind it, and then you can stick it wherever you want inside. The stack itself is pretty interesting. You got a video transmitter here, you got a flight controller, and then a 4-in-1 ESC. And then on the back here you've got a buzzer and 4 LEDs. Got a Velcro strap on the bottom. Probably need to put some foam underneath here to protect the battery. Probably going to replace this battery strap as well. This looks pretty weak. Anyway, this looks like it'll be a pretty good flyer, and I'll have a review on this coming up pretty soon. Okay, we got a couple more items here from Atmospheric Adventures, and this is their new Abzar frame for 2-inch props. You can see it's a Stretch X frame with a TPU pod, but this one now has a mounting hole for the Micro Swift or Micro Arrow. One of these little new micro CCD cameras that'll fit that, so you can mount that there. So this one should be pretty interesting. We'll take a look at this a little closer a little bit later. And then they also sent me the new Lumineer high volt battery. This is the 500 milliamp hour 4S with an XT30 ADC. This is what it looks like. It looks pretty compact, pretty small. I'm going to try this out on the Ascent 3-inch. Was using some pretty crappy batteries for us, and these are definitely going to be a lot better, so I'm going to give this a try. Okay, so I got the Bold Clash BWOOP B06. You can see here it says it's a brushless whoop drone. And I got the FlySky version. I think there comes in other versions too. They got FreeSky with an XM receiver, DSM2, DSM-X. The FlySky version is PPM only. I think FM 800 is for Taba, and then there's a version without a receiver. Comes in this nice tub, and this is actually the same tub that all of the King Kong stuff comes in, like the Tiny 6, Tiny 7, Fly Egg, the GT, or the 95 GT, 110 GT, all those came in this same tub. And here's a look at the drone itself. Brushless motors, 0703 motors, and 15,000 kV. Get a little 1S LiPo, 450 milliamp hour. 80 to 160C. Comes with the same pod that I reviewed. Here, this is a all-in-one camera plus VTX combo with the canopy, and I put this on the, I think it was the B03 Pro. It was a brushed micro with brushed motors, and this is a fully built brushless version with that same all-in-one canopy, which is pretty nice. I think it looks really slick. So here's some of the other things came in the box here. You got another canopy if you want to change the color to white or clear. You get a USB cable, some spare props, a set of white, a set of red. And this looks like the USB charger for the battery. You got two different plugs here. You got the 1.25mm connector and the 2mm connector. Let's get a little more details on the specs here. You got an F3 flight controller, 4-in-1 BL Heli 2-amp brushless ESC. So it's BL Heli, not BL Heli S, 0703 motors, 15,000 kV, 25 milliwatt, 48 channel video transmitter, cameras, 800 TV lines, 450 1S battery, and the weight's going to be 26.5 grams. And the version I got is the FlySky receiver, and this is what the drone looks like in the explosion diagram. So I'll have a complete review of this coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that video. Okay, got a mystery box here. I think, yeah, this is actually an HGL RC micro drone. This is the XJB145. Okay, this thing comes really well packaged, pre-built. So you get the drone and it looks like some accessories. So looks like you get some 3-bladed, these like, I think these are DYS 3-inch 3045 props. Got some prop nuts. Got some M2 screws, Velcro strap, no battery, and here's the drone itself. Comes with this new ELF camera from Ghul RC. It's a micro CCD camera, and got some 1407 3600 kV motors. These are the H7 Flame from Ghul. These are supposed to be some pretty nice motors. I actually got a set of these motors from Ghul RC a little while ago, and I still haven't put them on anything yet, but I guess I'll get to fly these before I put those on another drone. So it's 145 millimeters motor to motor. It's a stretched X frame. It's going to be longer front to back than side to side. And you got one of their Ghul RC stacks in here. It's probably got the TX20 video transmitter, probably an F4 flight controller, and 401 ESC. Pretty solid looking all around. It doesn't look like it comes with a receiver. It looks like you have to solder on your own receiver here. Possibly you could put a GoPro or mini Mobius on top. Should have enough power to do that. And you got the bottom here with the little pad for the battery. So it looks like pretty solid construction overall. I'll do a full review video on this coming up pretty soon, so stay tuned for that.